Well, that video didn't age well. If you haven't heard, Insomniac Games has officially confirmed no further story content will be coming to the Marvel Spider-Man 2 title, despite heavy speculation amongst fans that the sequel would follow suit to the first game. This news came with the announcement that in January of 2025, Spider-Man 2 will be coming to PC players available on the Steam store. While I was hoping for a DLC announcement, let's take this moment to quickly remember what Insomniac Games could still be planning. There are three main things I want to cover: Beetle, Silk, and Venom. Starting with Beetle, this calls back to the developer menu that some players were able to find in the New Game Plus update that clearly indicated test environments for the Beetle villain that fans thought would be the DLC villain like Hammerhead was in the first game. It seemed that everything was there, including boss fights and storylines. In a video I made explaining why this hinted at a DLC, I mentioned the point that the dev menu would only make its way into the final build of a game if work was still being done on it. Even though there is no DLC, I still stand by this point. Ultimately, this now proves that Insomniac Games has the character models and the game levels designed for a Beetle villain to be introduced at some point. Now that we know there is no DLC, you might be wondering, what are they going to do with it? That brings us into the second talking point of this video with Silk. Silk, aka Cindy Moon, was revealed at Spider-Man 2's second post-credit scene, already in New York City, but not revealing if she has her spider powers yet, like Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Now, in the comics, Silk's origin story was that she was bitten by the same exact spider as Peter Parker on the same day. So it's very possible that Insomniac Games could follow this storyline. With all that, how could players be introduced to Silk to fully understand her character, as we haven't really seen her in any live-action media or other video game projects yet? In all honesty, I can see it being the same way that we got introduced to Miles Morales. Spider-Man Miles Morales was released as the buffer game to build up the development and the story of the Insomniac Games version of Miles Morales. Peter Parker was taking a vacation, and this left Miles to protect New York City as its only Spider-Man, earning his stripes as a worthy defender. Something similar can be repeated with Cindy Moon, as we are seeing a similar pattern to where her and Miles get to protect New York City while Peter is enjoying a well-deserved break from being the friendly neighborhood hero. Who would be the villain in this game? Beetle. Since the setting of the Spider-Man games doesn't really change, the Beetle references in the developer menu in Spider-Man 2 could simply be testing ways to make sure that the Beetle character code would work well in the latest stable release, because it's ultimately always the same environment and the same setting for the game. And it only made its way into the update release of the game just because the developers forgot to remove it when it got pushed to the PlayStation Store. Now, it's also entirely possible that Beetle won't be the villain in another buffer game before Marvel Spider-Man 3 comes out in a few years, because per the Insomniac Games hack last year, there's a possibility of another game that could come out. What game would that be? Venom the Lethal Protector. The hackers behind the Insomniac Games attack found plans for a Venom game that was planned to be released in 2025. No word of this game has been whispered by the folks at Insomniac Games, meaning that this may also be unlikely, as the golden time to promote it would have been with Venom 3 releasing last October. Nonetheless, it hasn't been confirmed that the game has been canceled either, which means that we could see more content for players to get to play as Venom like we did for that one mission in Marvel Spider-Man 2, also proving that Venom can be a playable character. Beetle could very well be the antagonist for that game too. However, though, at the time of recording this, the tragic news just came out that Tony Todd, the voice actor for Venom in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 game, has unfortunately passed away. So the future of the Venom character in the Insomniac Games universe is now up in the air to not do any damage to the fantastic character and work that Tony Todd did bringing this character into the Insomniac Games universe. All in all, no DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2 is not the end of the world, as we have so much to look forward to from the incredible talent that is at Insomniac Games, not to mention the confirmed Wolverine game that we are anxiously waiting for. Whenever there is a peep of official news from upcoming titles from Insomniac Games, I will let you know right away, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. Until then, have a great rest of your day, wherever you may be.